Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is the join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that.
Well, as things stand, as you may be aware, as of a couple of hours ago, the South African courts decided to throw out the appeal case of the Lungu family against the verdict that granted the Zambian government permission to repatriate the body of the late President Edgar Chagwa to Zambia for a state funeral in Zambia. So it's that appeal that they wanted to fight through the Supreme Court, and that wasn't granted. And we were expecting an update from the Zambian government this side through Mr. Patrick Chagwa, the Secretary to the Cabinet, the only person that has been designated as a spokesperson with regard to this issue on the government's part, to chart the way forward on what is the next course of action, especially from the government when the body is likely to be in Zambia. But on the other side, the Lungu family seem to be have been fighting to appeal, but I don't know how that makes sense, as you heard from Material Member of Parliament Mao Sampa when he was issuing those statements, stating to say he's informed to say an appeal of some sort is likely to take place, but nothing has happened since then. To which Repatriation says, "I will talk to you tomorrow. Meanwhile, arrangements must kick in immediately to have the body in Zambia latest by Thursday. We open national mourning for 7 days, then burial." So Chief Edgar seems to be charting the way forward of some sort. He says government of the Republic of Zambia should work fast. And now that that appeal case has been thrown out, to have the body in Zambia, and then all the arrangements can be made once the body is in here, and making arrangements once in South Africa before we start this battle again. And then he says he advises 7 more days of national mourning, and then the burial can take place at Embassy Park. Obviously, SABC News reported that 6 minutes ago, earlier on, breaking news, Lungu family has lost yesterday another appeal to have former Zambian President Edgar Lungu buried in South Africa. So it's confirmed that appeal case has been thrown out. Now it's just the members of public weighing in and reacting to what has happened. And as of today's Zambia Daily Mail, it has also carried the same headline, simply saying, "No appeal. Lungu burial impasse nears end as family loses appeal bid." There, so it's confirmed the appeal has not been granted. So now it's just the issue of when the body is likely to be in Zambia or handed over to the Zambian government or the representatives of the Zambian government in South Africa, as things stand. And Tembo weighed in on the verdict, as you expect. He weighed in. This was Tembo's article with regard to the verdict that came from South Africa a couple of hours ago. He says, "Justice or corruption? A case of the Johannesburg High Court ruling on the Edgar Chagwa repatriation case." And then he highlights, he tags himself, and then he says, "Today's ruling in South African High Court, Gauteng Division, is to deny the Lungu family leave to appeal the judgment of the same court of appeal and costs to be bared by the Lungu family. Two, the sacrifice, suffice to mention that I was not shocked by the court's earlier judgment, which granted custody of President Edgar Chagwa body to the Zambian government for a simple reason that court judgments are merely an expression of opinions of the judge or the judges sitting on the bench. In as much as I was disagreeable with the judgment itself, I comforted myself that the Superior Court will definitely overturn it." So he says, yes, he wasn't surprised with the verdict that came from the High Court. He was hoping that it will go to the Supreme Court and then obviously overturn it. And then he goes further to say, however, for the High Court to deny the Lungu family an opportunity to go to to get a second opinion from a superior court on their judgment smacked me as a total compromise by the court in favor of the Zambian government. This is not a mere misdirection of the court. This is a deliberate effort by the court to deny the Lungu family justice in this matter. And then he goes further to say, even says he's contributing 10,000 kwacha towards the legal fees. As you may be aware, it seems like the Lungu family will have to bear the cost of both the Zambian government lawyer and their personal lawyer in this appeal matter. So he says he's contributed 10,000 kwacha towards that. He was just shocked with the verdict. Now he's asking the legality of all that. That's his opinion, and he goes further to write that article. On the other hand, Nevers Mumba put up an article saying anti-corruption under Hichilema surpasses Mwanawasa's era. So that's according to Nevers Mumba. So Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, MMD President Dr. Nevers Mumba has commended President Hakainde Hichilema's anti-corruption crusade, describing it as more robust and effective than the one spearheaded by the late President Levi Mwanawasa. So according to Nevers Mumba, the way President Hakainde Hichilema is fighting corruption is way better than the government that he served in as his vice president. That's Mwanawasa's government at a time. While it's across the borders, the incumbent president in Malawi, Chagwa, seems to be losing the election. As you may be aware, just a couple of hours ago, Malawans were voting, and it seems like he's losing. And obviously, Samba weighs in. He tags the president. Chakwera's picture with President Hakainde Hichilema when they met should have been at the ceremony, the recent ceremony that was held in Eastern Province, Katete. And then he tags it there to say, I've been practicing pretty much predicting Malawi's Kasongo and trading in the count so far are scheduled to obey the African commandments. So simply saying it's likely Chakwera is likely to lose those elections. Chief Etari weighs in also. He says, whatever happens in Malawi, it is not yet done. Lazarus might recover. Let's wait. Nevertheless, I don't think Hakainde Hichilema will even struggle to win 2026. He has already won. But by UPND, that this doesn't mean you go to sleep. So he simply says, in as much as because Chief Etari had predicted to say Lazarus Chakwera is going to win the elections in Malawi, but the results are proving otherwise. So he says, okay, fine. In as much as that has happened in Malawi, it's not a reflection of what is going to happen in Zambia. And he advises the UPND not to go to sleep as we head into 2026. And obviously, Samba keeps on tagging the image of Chakwera with President Hakainde Hichilema, simply saying, and he tags to say he's also next in line to join Chakwera in losing an election. There, obviously, both sides are doing the back and forth. Chief Etari, obviously, battles there. But on the other hand, COP robs a bank of more than 500,000 kwacha. There are 620,000 kwacha to be specific. And this has just been reported, and he's on the run with that money. The fellow police are looking for him after some details that bankers at the said banker lived through a movie scene as a uniformed cop meant to guard the bank. Money turned into its robber and vanished with the loot. So he was a security guard that was tasked to secure the bank, and he turned and became the robber and has run away with that money. And police hunt is on for him. And the UPND is just mocking the Tonse Alliance. You can see the image that they attached to say the current situation in the Tonse Alliance. As you may be aware, there are some fights that are brewing in the Tonse Alliance. Members there deciding who's the chairperson, who's going to be the presidential candidate. And that's what the UPND is jabbing at there with that image. And this is in reference to what's going on between Sean Tembo and Given Luwinda. So Luwinda asks Sean why he did not suspend himself when he endorsed Amunduwire. So as you may be aware, Sean Tembo has been issuing some suspensions for members of the Tonse Alliance, and now he says no. Luwinda is asking to say, you had endorsed Brian Munduwire, no one suspended you. How come you're suspending fellow members who are endorsing Given Luwinda? That back and forth keeps on going back. And to which Sean Tembo responded. His response was, Nambela Secretary General was talking about me, Secretariat, Yachipani, but he was sweating while mentioning my name. I think the feature is Sean E. Tembo, he says there. And what he was referring to was referring to Nakachinda's statement at the Secretariat earlier on. So just stand by, let me play you the video of Reverend Nakachinda addressing Sean Tembo with regard
to dividing the party. We will first of all deal with you because you are the enemy not only of PF but enemy of Zambia. Yeah. Now, Sean Tembo na rekalete kuko. You can't have people always bent on bringing confusion. And everything. What kind of nonsense is this? Why can't we have a situation where if there's a matter, people discuss, resolve, harmonize, there's unity moving forward? Let's think of the Zambian people. It's like in opposition, the issue of ambition, we are failing to manage.
So that's the situation in the Tonse Alliance. The fights are becoming louder as we head into 2026. And Nakachinda calls Sean Tembo a lover of confusion, throws warning jabs there. So the back and forth keeps on brewing in the Tonse Alliance. And obviously, Nakachinda urges PF members to unite ahead of 2026 elections. It seems like the PF now is trying to reorganize themselves and just go at it alone. The fact is that the opposition were only bandwagoning with the PF in hopes that the PF will endorse that particular candidate, whether it be it KBF, Sean Tembo, Harika, whoever they allied with, be it the Uka Alliance, Tonse Alliance. But it seems like the PF was just hoping to say they just align with them and then those parties conform to the PF agenda. And it hasn't worked out. And Plan B divided. Some opposition parties don't want a patriotic front PF on the ballot in 2026, Nakachinda. And that's just the reality. This is the fact that was known way ahead of time. They would have avoided this. They would have gone to the convention, elected the president, marketed him. And eventually, those that wanted to align with the PF would have gotten back to part of the bandwagon in that alliance. And like the situation is, because currently the PF is fighting a battle within itself with Chavenga, who's the real president and who's not. And then outside that, within the alliances, those battles are brewing also. So they wasted a lot of time. Now we're like, is it 10 months before we go to the vote? I do not know what they will do. They haven't even done their convention. They said they want to do their convention after they bury Edgar or Lungu. We don't need Bill 7. Zambians need solutions to cost of living. Winter Kabimba there, that advises the UPND. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen.